On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected.
Thank you to all our amazing channel members for your generous support.
Richard Burton, the acclaimed Welsh actor known for his resonant voice, intense stage presence, and tumultuous personal life, died on August 5, 1984, at the age of 58. His death was the result of a cerebral hemorrhage, a sudden but natural end that came after years of heavy drinking and physical strain. Burton's decline mirrored the excesses of his era, an age when fame, fortune, and self-destruction often walked hand in hand, especially in the world of celebrity. By the time of his death, Burton had already etched his name into cinematic history through powerful performances in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Beckett, and The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. Yet, it was not just his talent that captivated the public. It was also his passionate and volatile relationship with actress Elizabeth Taylor. Their two marriages, highly publicized love affair, and lavish lifestyle turned them into symbols of both Hollywood glamour and its corrosive temptations. Burton's passing marked more than the loss of a great actor. It signified the fading of a particular kind of theatrical masculinity and grandeur in entertainment. The immediate consequence of his death was an outpouring of tributes from fellow actors, critics, and fans who had watched him dominate both stage and screen. The world mourned not just a performer, but a mythic figure whose life seemed larger than any role he played. In death, Burton's legend grew. The tragic arc of his life, a gifted working-class boy who became one of the highest-paid actors in the world, only to battle personal demons, fit the mold of Shakespearean tragedy, a fitting parallel for a man who had played Hamlet, Macbeth, and King Lear. His voice and presence have since been immortalized in recordings, retrospectives, and stage productions that honor his legacy. Burton's story underscores how mortality intertwines with power and legacy. We remember not only the greatness of his craft, but also the vulnerability behind the fame. His life and death remind us that even those who appear immortal on screen are subject to the same human frailty. Through documentaries, biopics, biographies, and retrospectives, we continue to revisit his work, not simply to relive his performances, but to understand the complex man behind them. In doing so, Richard Burton remains, in memory, as compelling as he ever was on stage. Alec Guinness, one of Britain's most revered actors, passed away on August 5, 2000, at the age of 86 from liver cancer. His death was peaceful, taking place in West Sussex, England, and marked the end of a career that had spanned over 6 decades. Known for his refined demeanor, quiet intensity, and extraordinary range, Guinness left behind a legacy that bridged the golden age of British theatre with the modern blockbuster era. His passing reflected a transitional moment in cinematic and cultural history. Guinness came from a generation of actors steeped in classical training and stage discipline, values that were increasingly rare in the age of global franchises and digital storytelling. Though he was widely celebrated for roles in films such as The Bridge on the River Kwai, Kind Hearts and Coronets, and The Lavender Hill Mob, it was his portrayal of Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars that immortalized him for generations who never saw his earlier, subtler performances. The immediate response to Guinness's death was a blend of reverence and reflection. Tributes poured in from the British royal family, fellow actors, and fans across the world. For many, especially those within the United Kingdom, his death marked the loss of a cultural ambassador who elevated British cinema on the world stage. Yet for younger audiences, it was the quiet passing of a Jedi master, a figure shrouded in wisdom and mystery. Interestingly, Guinness was famously ambivalent about Star Wars, referring to it as fairy tale rubbish, even as it brought him international fame. This tension between his classical roots and popular success mirrored broader artistic struggles of the late 20th century, the clash between tradition and mass entertainment, between craft and commercialism. Guinness's death did not dramatically shift historical trajectories, but it did cement his legend. In a time where celebrity often thrives on scandal and spectacle, he remained dignified, private, and deeply committed to his art. His legacy endures in acting schools, retrospectives, and the quiet reverence with which serious actors still speak his name. Ultimately, Alec Guinness's life and death remind us that power can reside in restraint, and that memory favors those who serve their craft with humility. Through film, literature, and cultural memory, he remains a paragon of integrity, immortal not through myth, but through mastery. Toni Morrison, the towering voice of American literature and a Nobel laureate, died on August 5, 2019 at the age of 88 due to complications from pneumonia. Her passing was natural and peaceful, yet it carried profound symbolic weight, marking the end of an era in which African American literature had risen from the margins to the center of global literary discourse, in no small part because of her influence. Born in 1931 during the Great Depression and coming of age amid segregation and the Civil Rights Movement, Morrison's life and work were steeped in the complexities of race, identity, and memory. Her death reflected not just the loss of a gifted writer, but the departure of a moral and cultural compass. In an age marked by racial reckoning and social division, Morrison had consistently offered the world language for understanding pain, beauty, and transformation. The immediate consequences of her death included a flood of tributes from fellow writers, world leaders, and readers whose lives had been shaped by her words. Universities held readings and panels in her honor. Her novels, particularly beloved The Bluest and Song of Solomon, saw a resurgence in popularity as new generations sought to understand the emotional and historical weight of her narratives. Her passing reignited debates about literary canon, representation, and the role of storytelling in healing generational trauma. Morrison's legacy was already firmly established before her death, but the collective mourning only amplified her legend. She had been a rare figure, the first Black woman to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, and one of few writers whose work was both critically acclaimed and widely read. Her interviews, essays, and public speeches, often delivered with quiet, firm wisdom, circulated widely after her death, reaffirming her role as a truth-teller and cultural guardian. Her death reminds us that mortality does not silence great voices, it magnifies them. Morrison herself once wrote, "If you are free, you need to free somebody else." That ethos permeates her legacy. Through film adaptations, stage productions, murals, classrooms, and countless personal stories, Morrison is continually reimagined and remembered. Ultimately, her death reinforces how powerfully words endure. We immortalize Toni Morrison not simply for what she wrote, but for how she made us feel, confront, and dream. In a world desperate for empathy and depth, her voice remains a guiding light, echoing across time with courage and grace. Josh Ryan Evans, best known for his endearing role as Timmy on the soap opera Passions, passed away on August 5, 2002, at the age of 20 due to complications from a congenital heart condition. His death, though natural, was especially poignant given the health challenges he had faced throughout his short life. Born with achondroplasia, a rare form of dwarfism that stunted his growth and affected his internal organs, Evans stood just 3 feet 2 inches tall. Yet his stature did nothing to diminish the enormity of his presence on screen or in the hearts of fans. Evans died during a surgical procedure meant to improve his heart function. Tragically, his death occurred on the same day his character was written off the show, an eerie coincidence that lent a surreal weight to the moment. The entertainment world was stunned. He had come to symbolize a spirit of resilience and optimism, not only through his roles but through his openness about living with a serious medical condition. His passing reflected broader themes of the early 2000s, the growing media representation of individuals with disabilities, and the tension between visibility and tokenism in entertainment. Evans was not merely cast for his appearance. He delivered heartfelt, nuanced performances that challenged stereotypes. In a time when disability representation was still limited, his presence on mainstream television was quietly revolutionary. The immediate response to his death was an outpouring of grief from fans and co-stars. Many noted his kindness, humor, and determination. Soap opera publications and entertainment media paid tribute, and viewers mourned not only the actor, but the loss of what he symbolized, a break from conventional norms, and a reminder of the diversity of human experience. Evans's legacy lives on in more subtle ways. Though he did not become a household name, he inspired conversations about inclusivity and perseverance. His story is often cited in discussions about the representation of people with disabilities in Hollywood, and his life is remembered in online tributes, fan pages, and advocacy work. In death, Josh Ryan Evans reminds us that the size of one's impact isn't measured in years or physical stature. It is measured in courage, authenticity, and the ability to touch others. We immortalize such figures not just in media, but in the quiet shifts they inspire in perception, compassion, and hope. Friedrich Engels, co-founder of Marxist theory alongside Karl Marx, died on August 5, 1895 in London at the age of 74. His death was from throat cancer, a natural consequence likely exacerbated by years of heavy smoking. As with many intellectuals of his era, Engels' final years were marked not by violent political upheaval, but by reflection, correspondence, and the curation of a philosophical legacy that would shape the 20th century and beyond. Engels' passing marked the end of a foundational partnership in political thought. While Karl Marx had died in 1883, it was Engels who preserved, edited, and published Marx's unfinished manuscripts, most notably the second and third volumes of Das Kapital. His death left a vacuum in the leadership of international socialism, a movement that was, by then, gaining momentum across Europe and among industrial working classes globally. Without Engels' intellectual stewardship, Marxist ideology began to splinter, leading to diverging interpretations that would later influence everything from Soviet communism to democratic socialism. The era in which Engels died was one of industrial transformation, class upheaval, and growing tension between labor and capital. His death coincided with increasing labor unrest and the rise of socialist parties across Europe. While his physical departure did not cause immediate political shockwaves, his ideas were already fermenting revolutions to come. Engels' commitment to workers' rights, historical materialism, and class struggle became ideological fuel for major 20th century revolutions, including the Russian Revolution of 1917. His legacy was amplified through commemoration in statues, street names, and academic institutions, especially in socialist states. Yet, beyond physical memorials, Engels lived on through the political frameworks he helped establish. His life and death reveal how ideas, once radical and marginal, can outlast their creators and evolve through interpretation, conflict, and reinterpretation. In reflecting on Engels' death, we glimpse humanity's deep entanglement with mortality and power. While his end was quiet and unceremonious, his memory became entwined with the tumultuous forces of revolution, ideology, and historical transformation. Through literature, political doctrine, and public discourse, Engels is immortalized not simply as a thinker, but as a catalyst whose ideas challenged the foundations of power and inspired countless to envision a different world order. His death reminds us that intellectual legacies, like empires or monarchies, are built not only in life, but in the resonance they leave behind. Charlotte Rae, beloved American actress and singer, passed away on August 5, 2018, at the age of 92 from bone cancer. Her death was natural, a quiet ending to a life that had touched generations through television. Best known for her role as Edna Garrett on Different Strokes and its spin-off The Facts of Life, Rae became a familiar and comforting figure in American pop culture during a time when television was becoming a central force in shaping societal values and family dynamics. Rae's death occurred in an era when conversations around aging, women's roles in media, and nostalgia for earlier television eras were especially resonant. In the 1980s, her character Mrs. Garrett represented a rare portrayal of a strong, independent, and nurturing older woman, not as a secondary character, but as a central moral guide for young people navigating adolescence. At a time when female authority figures were still underrepresented, Rae's presence on screen offered a subtle but meaningful challenge to stereotypes. While her passing did not cause political or cultural upheaval, it did ignite a wave of tributes from fans and colleagues who recognized the cultural impact of her work. Her death reminded audiences of the transformative power of television to offer not just entertainment but comfort, guidance, and connection across generations. She had lived long enough to witness her work be rediscovered by younger audiences through streaming platforms, giving her legacy renewed life even before her passing. In the wake of her death, commemorations poured in from those who saw in her performances not just a role, but a reminder of personal memories and values once cherished. This emotional resonance is at the heart of how we immortalize cultural figures, not merely through statues or awards, but through the personal ways they influence our worldviews and shape our sense of home, belonging, and care. Charlotte Rae's gentle departure underscores humanity's deep yearning to be remembered not for fame alone, but for kindness, wisdom, and authenticity. Her legacy lives on in the laughter and lessons she brought to millions. Through reruns, memoirs, and the enduring relevance of her character, Rae remains a symbol of nurturing strength in a rapidly changing world, proof that even quiet lives can leave indelible marks on collective memory. Jô Soares, a towering figure in Brazilian entertainment, passed away on August 5, 2022, at the age of 84 due to natural causes following a brief hospitalization in São Paulo. A beloved comedian, talk show host, writer, director, and actor, Suarez was widely regarded as one of the most influential voices in Brazilian culture, particularly known for blending humor with intellect in a country often rife with political tension and social disparity. His death marked the end of an era for Brazilian media. For decades, Suarez was a nightly presence in Brazilian households through his iconic program Programa do Jô, where he conducted interviews with politicians, artists, intellectuals, and everyday citizens. His sharp wit and genuine curiosity about the human experience allowed him to traverse Brazil's complex political and cultural landscape with a rare balance of humor and insight. In many ways, his legacy mirrors the Brazilian public's need for critical yet compassionate commentary, especially during turbulent political times, including military dictatorship and economic instability. Though Suarez's passing was not shocking or violent, its cultural resonance was profound. Brazil mourned not just the man, but a trusted voice, a bridge between generations and ideologies. The immediate consequence was an outpouring of tributes across media and social platforms, with fans and celebrities alike celebrating the man who taught a nation to laugh at itself while thinking critically. Suarez's death amplified his legend. He wasn't just remembered for his comedy, but for his commitment to dialogue, intellectualism, and the arts. His work helped elevate Brazilian television and literature, making them tools of societal reflection rather than mere entertainment. His loss prompted a re-evaluation of the role of public figures who challenge, educate, and entertain all at once, a rare trifecta in today's media landscape. Reflecting on his passing, we are reminded of how societies immortalize those who connect deeply with the public conscience. Joe Suarez lives on through his books, his interviews, his iconic quotes, and the generations of comedians and writers he inspired. His legacy underscores that power doesn't only reside in politics or wealth, it can dwell in humor, empathy, and intellect. In remembering Joe, Brazil remembers a version of itself that values free expression, laughter amid hardship, and the enduring power of meaningful conversation. Judy Kenova, born in 1913, was a multi-talented entertainer who brought rustic charm and comedic brilliance to American radio, film, and television throughout the mid-20th century. She passed away on August 5, 1983, in Hollywood, California, from cancer at the age of 69. Her death, though natural and without public spectacle, marked the quiet end of a uniquely American voice that once dominated the airwaves and stages during a transitional era in entertainment. Kenova rose to fame during the Great Depression and World War II, periods when the United States sought comic relief and cultural identity. Her exaggerated country girl persona, complete with pigtails and a strong Southern twang, resonated with audiences craving humor and humility amid economic hardship and global conflict. She became a star of radio with The Judy Kenova Show, blending slapstick comedy with folk sensibility, offering a kind of escapism rooted in down-home Americana. The circumstances of her death reflect the challenges of aging in the entertainment industry, especially for women known primarily for comedic or character roles. By the time of her passing in 1983, her style of humor, once celebrated, had faded from the mainstream. The industry had shifted toward edgier, more urban, and politically driven comedy. Still, her legacy endured in the memories of audiences who remembered her as a trailblazer for women in media, one of the first female comedians to lead her own national radio show and headline major films. While her death did not create political or cultural shockwaves, it did amplify appreciation for a bygone era. Retrospectives highlighted how Kenova bridged vaudeville, radio, and Hollywood, paving the way for female comedic voices such as Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball. In that way, her passing reminded the public of the foundational contributions of performers who brought joy during some of the nation's darkest days. Judy Kenova's legacy reveals the human desire to laugh through hardship and to find strength in character, however exaggerated. Through recordings, old broadcasts, and television reruns, she is remembered not for grandeur or tragedy, but for authenticity. Her career and her passing reminds us that power can exist in humor, and that memory often lingers longest in the echoes of laughter.